when there is a baby and he looks more like another person beside the father? Do you take by the way the boy looks, or by his father? I mean, or because we slept with his mother or they were together. In Islam, the Prophet ﷺ has judged that the baby belongs to the father, not to someone that he looks like. And there's a story that happened between Sa'd ibn Waqqas, who claimed that this boy, he looks like his brother who passed away, and he told him to take care of him after his death. And in that way, he's accusing the mother of that boy that she slept with Sa'd ibn Waqqas' brother. And Abd ibn Zum'a, he claimed, no, that's the son of my father who had a jariyah, who had a slave with him, and she gave birth to that boy, and that's his son, his father's son, so that's his brother-in-law. So when they disputed this issue with the Prophet ﷺ, Sa'd ibn Waqqas is saying, he looks like my brother. And Abd ibn Zam'a said, no, this is my brother-in-law who came, whom my father, had a slave, and that's her son. So what did the Prophet ﷺ? He said, the boy belonged to his home, to the person who is known that, like to his mother. Al-Firash here is someone that
the legal relationship between
the legal relationship, who had the legal relationship with that mother. And so he said the boy belongs to the father who was with that legal relationship. And al-ahir, al-hajar, that means the person who accused the woman with zina, with adultery, he will get al-hajar. Al-hajar here is stone. Of course, the accusation for committing adultery, the had that Allah Azza wa Jal has given is to throw him with stones, to stone him to death. And also it could mean
تقصد أن يتهم بالزنا يعني ولا الذي اتهم
مش هو اللي يرجع لا ولا الحجر
الذي اتهم
the one who's accusing, I mean, even though he passed away in this case, but he got the hajar, meaning he is getting the disappointment, or he is getting the humiliation of not being right in this case. Okay? And he told his wife to cover up from him. So if you look in here, there's so many things that we can learn. First of all, that the boy belongs to his father, the one who has the legal or the legitimate relationship with the mother. The second thing, that this is to prove the parenthood. However, when it comes to the dealing between people, he told, so put your cover or put your hijab, or sauda. So he told her to put the hijab on. This is to protect the society. However, how come we don't take by the DNA evidence? When this DNA issue was gathered to the scholars about this, they said there's not a problem to use it in certain cases, like when in the hospitals, and there's like a big mix-up in the hospitals, and you have so many babies, all babies look the same, right? So if there's a mix-up, you cannot say, oh, this is my son, this is no. So the DNA here could come handy to prove the parenthood in case of a major mix-up in the hospital, or places of birth, where there's so many babies that was mixed up for whatever reason, and that could happen. I mean, you could use the DNA. Also after catastrophes, like earthquakes, floods, and so on, to know babies who's, there's not a way to identify them except by the DNA. Also, in knowing the criminals, to identify the criminals. However, when it comes to identifying the criminals, you can use the DNA in any case except the cases that you use the حدود الله, or for example, adultery or killing. Because, for example, when it comes to adultery, for example, if someone is committing adultery, you don't use DNA to prove that he committed adultery. Because Allah Azza wa Jal has required that you come with witnesses. So the witnesses is the ones that you have to prove, that will prove adultery, not the DNA. Because this is Allah's rule. This is what Allah Azza wa Jal asks us to do in those cases of adultery. And so on when it comes to death. Also in some other areas when the judge wanted to use the DNA to calm people in a certain occasion, certain circumstances, to prove or to eliminate whatever bad thoughts a person might have, but not the other way around. Not to prove that, because to prove that this is not the son of the father, again, if the father could say that this is not my son, again, he have to do is to make that curse on him if he is lying about his accusation that this is not his son. And this is a big issue. Only a judge from an Islamic country could decide that, not it's not like something like a group of people could decide on this. Allah.